Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the Mauser M12, and forgive all those modern 6.5 cartridges, this one is in the original 6.5-55 Swede. Now, I shot my first ever deer with the 6.5-55 and it's always been a bit of a fond cartridge for me. I've owned multiple rifles chambered in it. I've also owned a couple of 260s and a Creedmoor and shot many other Creedmoors and Swedes as well. But it's still kind of one of my favourites, and this long slim cartridge, it feeds so well, shoots in such a refined manner with minimal recoil, superb long range ballistics, and that was all before anybody even knew what a hashtag was for. So I'm going to review this rifle because it's one of my favourites. This has got the synthetic stock on it, we've got a 22-inch steel barrel, and it's a 6-lug bolt with one of the best bolt operation strokes I've encountered on any rifle at all. Because it's a 6-lug, 60-degree lift, and that handle sticks out straight to the side when you want to cycle the rifle, and you've got a 3-position safety catch on the back which locks the bolt. Middle there allows you a bolt operation, or forward for fire. The Mauser M12 Extreme is available in 243 Winchester, 270 Winchester, 308, 3006, 6.5-55, 7x57, 7x64, 8x57, 9.3x62, 7mm Rem mag, 300 Win mag and 8.5x55 Blaser. Standard magazine capacity is 5+1 and in the Magnum it's 4+1. Barrel length is 51cm in standard or 62cm for the Magnum. Metal finish is black burnished, but don't be confused, this has been extremely hard wearing and also weatherproof for the 8 years I've had this rifle. The cold hammer forged barrel on this 6.5-55 version is an 8-inch twist and is easily stabilised 143 grain bullets for hunting. Well, it's not perfectly zeroed yet, but that'll still be 3 dead deer. Standard barrel diameter is 17mm at the muzzle, or there's a 19mm solid barrel also available. The muzzle thread is 15x1 for a moderator or brake. No iron sights are fitted, but the action is Remington 700 compatible, and I've added a Picatinny rail for scope mounting. The black polymer stock features a soft touch finish which has been durable, and it's also extremely grippy and tactile in very poor weather conditions. The barrel is fully free floated and remains so in all conditions, whether shot from bipod, sticks or improvised positions. Overall length of the standard rifle is 101.5cm or 112.5 in a Magnum calibre. Overall weight is 3.1 kilograms, and in the Magnum that's 3.2 kilograms. Well, you've seen me use the rifle and you've heard me read out all the statistics. I've had this rifle actually 8 years and it's my personal rifle, and I'm going to tell you all about it, pros and cons. Now, I'll put the link in the description for the Mauser website so you can see all the other rifles versions available of this gun, but generally they're all based around a similar action and similar bolt operation. The bolt handle's slightly different, some of them have got different stocks, some of them have got different barrels. I have actually reviewed most of them in magazine format over the last 8 years, and I have to say none of them have really disappointed me at all. As you can see from the video, there is no problem at all sustaining the sub MOA performance from the barrel at 100 meters. I have experienced this rifle in use from everything from 50-meter stalking shots, and I've actually shot it in the past out to 1,000 meters just for fun on some steel gongs. I haven't included that footage in this video because that was from about 6 or 7 years ago, and I didn't make videos then, but needless to say, it's always raining at the moment and I was minimizing the video footage for this, but you can take it from me. I trust this rifle. It is mine, I paid for it, and I love using it. There's no real great surprise why Mauser and Sauer use this same twin column magazine system across multiple models in their range, because you can just clip the rounds in the top and they feed left and right, and it's just life so easy. But if you don't want to take the magazine out the gun, you can just drop the round in the top and just clip it down in through the top, and it's going to feed just the same, so you don't even need to take the magazines out. The magazines are inexpensive, you can have plenty of spares, they pop in and out the gun with no problem at all, and you don't need to take it out for that emergency backup shot, because you can just drop it in, clip it down, or just flick it forward and it just goes in. It just works beautifully. I like the fact the sling swivels are right at the front on the fore end and at the back underneath, because you can add your bipod easily, you can take it off and you don't have to interrupt putting your sling on or off either. So if you are going for those lightweight situations where you don't want the bipod, just take it straight off and you've not got dual attachment. One of the things I love about this rifle is the magazine system, and you've seen me use this on lots of Sauer rifles as well. It's twin column, loads easily from the top. You can see in the video it just isn't a problem at all. The bolt release is on the left side, and it's just a push button there, push that, the bolt comes out. And perhaps one of the things I love first and most about this M12 is that the bolt handle sticks straight out, comes up to 90 degrees, and you can operate it so quickly and so smoothly. It's got 6 lugs that lock directly into the cold hammer forged barrel, and that gives you a 60-degree lift. And it is super, super slick in transit. It has been from when it was new right up until now. The other thing I love about these is the 3-position safety catch, because you've got to take your fingers and your thumb away from the trigger and mechanical components, which is an automatic safety aspect. Now that, with it all the way to the rear, locks the bolt and it totally locks the firing pin. So the firing pin, it's not like a trigger lock, the firing pin itself is locked and can't go forward. In the position in the centre there, you've got full bolt operation, and then forward is fire, and you get a nice crisp trigger pull. Now I'll just actually weigh the trigger on this, because I don't think I have in a long time. I just kind of adapted and used it as it was. I'll just set this up running, put it in grams, ready to go, pop that on there, easy pressure addition, and that's braking at 708 grams, which is 1 pound 9 ounces. This is just a joyful rifle to use, and as I say, I have shot it at quite extended distances and found it easily accurate. Of course, being a lighter barrel, it's a little bit more lively, although in a 6.5-55 you've got great long range performance and you haven't got a huge amount of recoil. I have shot it 99% of the time with a sound moderator, which is of course easy to add for the UK stalkers, and some of the Europeans now are getting more into those as well. You'll see on the back I've put an additional cheek pack on it, which has got my bullet storage there. I can slot those in there, and there is actually a rubber cheek razor underneath that, because I have found it just helps me a little bit to get good alignment on the scope. But I don't think that's different with any rifle, and the difference with this rifle is it's my rifle. It's not one I'm just borrowing and using as it is. This has been with me for so long now. It's had multiple scopes on it. It's always been reliable to review scopes with, because I trusted its capability. I love the magazine system, I love the bolt system, and the barrel is consistent. 8 years on, it still shoots sub MOA, and I would suspect it's probably had somewhere around 1,500 rounds through it, both factory ammunition and hand loads. The soft touch finish makes it really grippy, and in cold, wet weather, either with gloves or bare hands, you don't find yourself slipping on it or anything like that, and the gun is extremely fast and pointable. One of the things you rarely see on specifications is the length of pull, and German rifles do tend to be a bit longer in the stock. So this one is 14.5 inches, which is 367 millimeters approximately, and that does mean it feels like a full grown-up adult-sized rifle, and you get great position on it, whether you're shooting prone or from sticks or from a tripod or from an improvised position. And of course, being the stock is a straight sporter stock, you can easily adapt to it left-handed if you are a left-handed, or like me, like to shoot both ways round, just because I like to take advantage of the best position to make the shot from.
Nice shot, Mr. Parkin. It's almost like you've done this before sometimes. Good shooting. And the wind seems a lot more at us now. Ricocheted off the right edge.
That is a 300mm steel gun. A lot of people ask, what's the difference between the M18 and the M12? Well, essentially, in terms of performance on target, I can't actually tell you there's a huge amount of difference, because I've had great success with several M18s in multiple stock formats, just the same as I have with M12s. It's generally always more ammunition dependent than anything above that. The thing that really separates the M12 from the M18 is it's just that little bit more deluxe feel. The bolt travel and the bolt stroke on it and the bolt handle is just sublime, and I would put this bolt as one of the best on the market, full stop, no questions asked. And I really do like the M18 bolt, so that says a lot about this one. From a sporting perspective, I do like this 3-position safety catch. Some people might think it looks a little bit old-fashioned, like a Winchester safety, and in a way, yes it is, but it does mean that that firing pin is locked. It's not just the trigger, it's the firing pin that's locked. And another thing that I've experienced on multiple occasions is seeing some shooters, and they're very, very uncautious, taking the finger away from the trigger when they're operating a safety catch. And functionally, to operate the safety catch on this rifle quietly, you do generally need your thumb and finger to use it quietly, but because it is silent, and that intrinsically takes your finger away from the trigger. The trigger pull is crisp, it's reliable, it's consistent, and it feels good whether you want to use it with gloves on or with bare fingers, because of that surety and the wide blade on it. There's plenty of space in the trigger guard for your finger, and it just couples well with one of the finest ergonomic rifles I can say, and that's why I bought it, because I just thought it was a good one. I have shot many deer with it, I've used it for all sorts of foxing trips out, and I've used it plenty on targets as well, just for fun. And as I said, I've often used this for scope reviews as well, because for a sporting rifle scope, you need a good, accurate, consistent sporting rifle you can trust. And that is what the M12 has always been to me. The recoil pad is grippy, it mounts easily, it locks into your shoulder, and it doesn't slide out of position, so you can position your face on the stock without sliding the recoil pad from your shoulder pocket. The other thing to say is that the recoil is very linear through the rifle. You don't get muzzle flip with it, and of course the stock with the filling inside it means you don't get any kind of echoing, dull, knocking sounds if you bang it on some foliage or a tree or a branch or anything like that, and you also don't get any kind of vibration or harmonic reverberation that goes through it and transfers through your cheek into your head, concussing you long term, quite frankly. The 6.5-55 I kind of love even more now, because I shot my first ever deer with a 6.5-55 20 odd years ago, and the thing is, it's kind of not a Creedmoor, and everybody wants to take the mickey out of Creedmoor shooters and say Creedmoor's this, Creedmoor's that, Creedmoor's the other. 6.5 Swede has been doing it for longer than the Creedmoor ever has, and although the Creedmoor is a modern, fundamentally capable cartridge, and I'm not going to dismiss it, sometimes it's nice just having something that little bit different and a little bit more old school and classic. Bolt stroke with that longer, slim cartridge is as sublime as ever, and like the 30-06, it just gives you that little bit of extra capacity that you're never really worried about anything, and it'll shoot the 120 and 140 grain bullets at great velocities. Although personally I've always generally found with this rifle, if I've been hand loading, I prefer the 120s, just because I'm not using it on large deer. I prefer the 120. It's a little bit faster, a little bit less recoil, you can spot your shots more quickly, and if I'm shooting roe deer and things like that, it just makes it a little bit easier to just watch the animal go down and track it and see exactly what's happening through the scope without having to move position or search for it again with the thermal imager. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that review, because I don't often review my own rifles, but I thought this one, after 8 years of long-term use, deserved it. So please like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to click the notification bell, ding, to make sure you keep track of my regular uploads and the new live videos. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. I can't not just do that because it is just so slick. It's untrue. This rifle has had 1500 rounds, I reckon, and it's no different to how it was when it was new, and you can't jam it even. It's just impossible not to love that bolt. That's why it is. It's a Mauser, it's an M12. It is the spiritual successor for me to the 98, and I did love the M03, but the M03 didn't really do that well, and it was quite expensive, and it had expensive additional scope mounts. And this one doesn't, because you can just put a Picatinny rail, easy scope mounting. You've just got to love it. I just love this rifle. It's accompanied me on some of my favourite shooting and hunting experiences, and I hope it will for a long time to come. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye for now.